A few days ago, Puffy's former valet slash bodyguard, Gene Deal, went live here on YouTube and said that we are scraping and scrambling, that we are done. He called Greg Kading a liar, and that murder rap got caught in their lies. And this was apparently in response to my deep dive episode where witnesses to Biggie's murder claimed it was Bad Boy's security team on the night that he was killed, the label's head of security Paul Offord, and an off-duty Inglewood police officer named Reggie Blaylock, who chased after Biggie's shooter in their Chevy Blazer.
How far did you travel down Worcester Boulevard?
I want to say 3 blocks at the most.
3 blocks. Either way, looking north and south, you didn't see the suspect?
I didn't see. Whoever was gone. He was gone.
What did you do then, after that?
I came back around. By this time, I guess those guys had maybe pulled in the intersection, and they said Biggie was shot.
Did anybody else at the scene that you know of pursue these shooters?
No, not that I know of.
And I assume Gene is upset about this because he has been claiming that it was actually him and another member of their entourage who chased after the shooter. And even though my episode about the chase for Biggie's killer dropped nearly 4 months ago, Gene is apparently still upset about it, and he went on this rant. So let's be clear, I am not the one saying this. I'm just showing you what witnesses said. So when Deal calls people liars, it's really Paul Offord that he's accusing of lying, and the police officer out of Inglewood, Reggie Blaylock. And I also mentioned in my episode about the chase that a third witness, Aiysha Foster, who was supposedly dating Biggie's good friend Damian Butler at the time, was crossing the street on foot at the time of the shooting and saw it happen. And Foster is the girl who then rode with them to the hospital in Biggie's Suburban. So for the first time, here is Foster's audio of her describing seeing the Blazer chase after the shooter.
Getting ready to cross the street, I heard 6 shots. You heard the shot. So I ducked and I went right back over here. It was like the cars. I went between the cars. That's how I know it was cars here.
Right after the shooting?
No.
When you ducked, came back up, did you?
I just looked at it and I saw the Suburban stuck right there. They did not move and I seen everybody jump out.
How about the Blazer?
The Blazer was still behind the Suburban. No. The Blazer had turned and tried to chase somebody and then they came back around.
And there's just no reason that I can think of for her or any of these other witnesses to lie. And then you consider that Deal's story seems to have changed several times over the years. First, apparently not mentioning chasing the shooter at all back when he was interviewed in 1997, and then in 2001 telling detectives he chased the shooter but lost him at a freeway entrance, even though the nearest freeway is 2 miles from the Biggie crime scene.
And he drove down some way, we was chasing him, and then he did a right turn and got on the interstate, he was gone. Because it's a highway over this way or something, right?
Well, this is a big street.
Yeah, but don't it turn into a highway? Like you could do a right turn to get onto a highway?
Nah.
And then in more recent years, changing that again and saying they lost the shooter at the top of a hill, even though that neighborhood is flat. So instead of calling us liars, maybe Gene could explain why his story has changed and why he thinks Paul Offord, Reggie Blaylock, and Aiysha Foster all lied about it. I have no personal issues with Gene Deal, and I've even tried to defend him and give an explanation for why these accounts don't seem to line up, but I'm not going to stay silent when someone with a following calls me a liar. And his issue should be with these other witnesses, not with the messenger. And on a side note, I refer to Gene as Puffy's valet/bodyguard, not in any kind of demeaning way, but because that is how he described himself to detectives.
Are you employed by Puffy?
Not really employed. I've been knowing Puff since '89. And, I've been doing little parties with him and everything and going different places here and there.
So you do a little bodyguard for him?
Not really bodyguard. I'm more like a valet, but you know what I'm saying? I do bodyguard work. People seem like I'm a bodyguard, but all this little running around that he need me to do and stuff like that, I do that.
You help with security, am I correct? I help with security and valet. I'm valet? Right. Okay. And what that details is like when Puff needs to get dressed, certain things he wants, and then when he hire people, I make sure they do what he tells them to do or what he needs to be done. Puff uses a lot of different people for a lot of different things. You understand?
So you make sure the thing's done.
Yeah, whatever he wants done, I make sure it gets done. Just help him, whatever. If he need to get dressed when he go on a concert, sometimes I help him right there. You know, whatever.
So honestly, I'm just trying to be accurate like I am with everything else that I put out here. And I sincerely appreciate him promoting my channel to his subscribers. Hit that subscribe button for the best Tupac and Biggie content on the internet.